Hello everyone and welcome back to the Pentium 4 Recapathon, where we will be taking dead Pentium 4 based motherboards like this one right here, and hopefully getting them to work again with the power of new capacitors. Old capacitors have to be the bane of every vintage computer enthusiast's existence. You see, besides parts like hard drives and I guess displays and things like that, capacitors have got to be the number one most failure-prone part that causes problems in old computers. Think about it. Dead power supply? You may think power supplies fail often. Why do they usually fail? Capacitors. And old motherboards? Capacitors. It's all over the place, and seemingly from all times there's some type of capacitor that can fail. Like late 80s, early 90s, surface mount electrolytics leak and corrode away boards. All throughout the 80s, filter caps on power supplies blow up. And on Pentium 4 motherboards, it's these through-hole electrolytics that fail. As you can see, this board right here has definitely got some bad ones, like there, and yeah. They're going to all need replacing, so we're going to do just that today. So, this board, in its current state, last time I checked a few months ago, or maybe it's closer to a year now, it posts and sometimes boots up all the way, but it crashes after a few minutes of being on, and it is very slow, and it has what I like to call graphical meltdowns, where the system will just get a bunch of random colors and lines all over the screen, and it will crash. I'll put up a photo on screen of what that looks like right now. But it's pretty obvious why this is happening. All of these bad capacitors. And these are not easy to replace, let me tell you. You need fancy... Ow! Vacuum pump desoldering tools like this one. Well, you don't technically need them, but good luck trying without them. I tried. It doesn't go well. And you need a soldering iron and obviously new capacitors. So, we're going to get these replaced in today's video. So, this is an HP Goldfish 3 board, also known as a PTGO-LA, or if you want the specific part number, it is the HP 5188-3239, and it has a total of around 15 of these 820 microfarad 6.3 volt caps, and out of those 18, 7 of them I believe are failing. Let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe it's just 6. Either way, we're going to be replacing most of them today, even some good ones, but I'll be starting with just the bad ones. The obviously bad ones. I'm saving 6. I have 20 total. I'm saving 6 because I have another system I'm recapping today that uses these same capacitors, and I've got more on order to be able to finish this board off, but for now, I'm just replacing the bad ones and maybe a couple more. So, let's get started. So, what about technique? Well, first of all, I have to wait for my iron to heat up, and also, this is not a tutorial. It's not a guide. I am not a professional. I am a teenager who just wants his Pentium 4s running again. That is who I am, and I've got the tools I need to do it, and I'm not good at it. I'm sure many people will gawk at the terrible solder joints on the new capacitors I'm putting in. The point is, it works. It's not pretty, but it works, and these are not special systems. Very few people go through the effort of trying to get these Pentium 4s back up and running again when they've died. It's kind of sad because in like 20 years, these are going to be getting kind of rare because so many of these have been trashed due to just not being worth anything or these stupid bad capacitors from Capacitor Plague. It really sucks. But, yeah, that's just the way it is, and we're going to be starting with this guy right here. Yeah, I've already done some work trying on this board before getting my desoldering tool. So, yeah, this capacitor right here we've got is failing. Also, where's that other one? Right there. Yeah, it's this one. I'm just scoping out where each point is. So I'm going to wait for this iron to heat up. And I'm also going to heat up the Hacko. Oops. There we go. Alright, let's see if the soldering iron is ready. Yes, it is, or at least it's hot enough to melt solder, so I'm going to melt some onto it. And I'm going to try to just plop it down onto this lead right here. The idea here is you want to add some solder to it. Also, sorry for the fan going, I have to have good ventilation. And now I'm going to grab the Hacko desoldering pump, set it down, wait around 6 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, now I'm going to go on the other lead, which all the solder seemed to have just moved over to. This one's weirdly bent. Ugh. This one could actually be a pain since it's all bent. Alright. Let's see. Can we get any holes clear? No, but what I'm going to do now, since I think this one's going to pose a bit of a challenge, is I'm going to I'm going to like rock it back and forth on the board. To weaken the connection. And oh, one of them just came out. One of the leads was barely held in by anything and it just came out. That is good. You can see now it's held in by one lead only. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to rock the capacitor back and forth until it breaks off the other lead. Because when the capacitors break off, I find I can get the lead extracted much easier than if the capacitor is still on the board. This one's giving me trouble. Let's give it another try with the Hacko. I think I've got it mostly clear. It's just bent, which is annoying. See? I got one out just fine. This one. Right there. On the back. Right there. Or right there. Both holes clear. But that one I just cannot get out. Well, I am going to install the first new capacitor. And unfortunately, that is going to be the end of this part in the Pentium 4 Recapathon. Here's just a quick analysis. I know I put all that text up on screen so you can see what I did, but if you check, here's is the first capacitor I soldered in, and you can see I lined up the stripe with the stripe on the board. Now check out every original capacitor left on the board. It is exactly the opposite. You can see on this one right here, the stripe's there, the stripe's there. So I have no idea why that is. Spoiler alert, it ended up being true, that same thing where it's the opposite, on one of the other boards as well. So you cannot always trust these silk-screened markers. So I tried to get this cap back out to put it in the right way, and I was having trouble with that too, but I think that was when my soldering iron got, the desoldering iron got dirty. That's one of the ones I didn't even bother to get in. There was one of the ones I replaced. I replaced that one. I replaced that one. And one other one, I think. I'm not sure where. Maybe there? I don't think so. But here's our trouble spot. Now, if I zoom in real close, if my camera would just kindly focus, you can see all that damage right there. You can see one of the holes is clear. That one came out fine, but that one didn't. You can see I ripped up the solder mask, where there luckily was just a ground plane on the top side trying to extract it. And then on the bottom of the board, you can see the real issue. That solder mask getting ripped up likely wouldn't have caused any problems, but this certainly will. Here is the point. And you can see all of that vacuum pressure has left this, like, almost looks like a scorch mark all around that joint. And you can see all these traces that ran through here. Yeah, you can't see really well because my camera won't focus very well. But you can see a couple of them look like the solder mask is just gone, like, I don't know, that one right on the bottom. But some of these ones that went through here look like they've been completely destroyed. And this stupid thing, you can sort of see that little point that juts off sort of up. That's the bent lead. And I just cannot pick it up with my finger. I can't get any tools under it to bend it up. It is stuck there and I've just given up. Unfortunately, I'm going to declare this board a total loss thanks to this one joint that won't come out. All the other ones would likely have been fine. There is still some of that goop, but that can be cleaned. There's a difference between that brown stuff and actual damage. That's actual damage. It's unfortunate that I haven't been able to get this board to work again. I'm sure it would have worked if I got all the capacitors installed, but it taught me some valuable lessons, and yeah, that's going to be it for this part of the Recapathon. But come back next time and check back, because I have at least 2 more parts coming, and possibly a third. Now my camera won't focus. I'm clicking the focus thing. It won't do it. It's stuck focusing like that, because this camera's acting wonky. So you're going to have to deal with blurry cam, because thanks, iPhone. But I have at least 2 more parts coming, and possibly a third. Depending on how things go, I need to get some special tools. But I definitely have 2 more coming. So with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I will see everyone next time. I'm publishing this anyway, even though it was a fail, because that's how this is going to go with this series. I'm not afraid to post times I've absolutely failed to fix something. Thanks everyone. See you everyone later.